Now, stop me if you have heard this one before. Once upon a while ago, there was a fisherman's puppet, carefully made by hand. The puppet lived a simple life inside a model lighthouse, with everything in its place. And every day began the same way when he brushed his wooden teeth. Well, if you don't think wooden teeth need brushing, you've never had a cavity and a splinter at the same time. Next, he'd put a log inside his little stove to warm things up. The puppet, nice and warm, safe from the storm. Next, he would take his duster and carefully dust his lucky seashell over there on the shelf. What next? Next, he would take the old duster and dust his lucky seashell. There. The shell reminded him of the sea when it was calm. Next, the fisherman would open wide his window to check the weather. A quiet sea tonight. Finally, and most important, every day he would work on his latest model. There, in the center of the... Yes! Good. Now, the final touch. A tiny puppet of himself to put inside. There. Lucky this model snapped together. Now the little puppet could go in its little rocking chair inside its lighthouse. Tired out from his routine, the fisherman will rest his aching wooden bones in his own rocking chair and go to sleep. And dream of models, safe inside, where the smell of paint and glue was always fresh, where the world was simple and snapped together. The puppet would follow his routine, brush his wooden teeth, dust his lucky shell, and work on his model. Worlds within worlds, walls within walls, closing out the storm so it could never reach inside. Until one night, something changed.
Has begun and stocks are looking thin again this year. We all know there's a big catch waiting out there somewhere, but hold your hauling lines. Reports are saying a huge storm is blowing in. It might be nothing, but better safe than salvage, I always say. Coming up next, another hour of thrilling nautical news after these messages.
Every morning, the fisherman's puppet awoke inside his model lighthouse with everything in its place. And he began his day the same way. Except this morning, something felt different. Mon Dieu, the window had been boarded up. The fisherman didn't remember doing that. Even when the storm came, he was safe in here. But no two silly planks of wood were going to get between him and his routine. He needed some air. He had to find a way to pry off the boards. This would do. What was it Papa used to say? Use the right tool for the right job. Nearly there. What was this feeling? The fisherman hadn't felt like this for a long time. At last, the smell of the ocean. But outside, not the sea. He couldn't believe his wooden eyes. Outside the room was another room, a replica room. And standing in it, a huge but very familiar figure of a fisherman. And he knew that if that huge figure were to turn, its face would be very familiar. Sacre bleu! If this was what lay outside, then what was inside his own little model lighthouse, in the model of his own room? It was all there inside the model, exact in every detail. But the tiny version of himself, it was moving. He was inside the model, he was outside the model, and just who was pulling all the strings?
Dear listeners, a general alert to all lighthouses. In spite of all of our thrilling up-to-the-minute warnings, a lone boat has gone out into the storm. Lighthouse keepers, make sure your lights are shining bright. I repeat, a lone boat has gone out into the storm.
The lighthouse. The world might be folding in on itself, but only one thing mattered now. He had to turn on the lighthouse lamp high above. The life of a fellow sailor was at stake. A huge anchor blocked the only door. Whoever did it must really want to keep the storm out, or keep something in. The fisherman needed to move the anchor. Of course, as below, so above. When he lifted the tiny anchor, the large one was lifted by his giant self. Now, time to get out of this little room. Zut! The door was locked. He must have put the key somewhere last time he left this room. Now, when was that? And then, my friends, the strangest thing happened. Inside this room where he knew every cranny and nook, an unfamiliar voice said,
Hey, you. Yes, you, the scruffy-looking puppet. Yeah, you with the strings. Over here, on the shelf. Are you cracked in the cockle? Why did you move the anchor? Why? Oh, why did you take the roof off?
The fisherman. He felt, well, his lucky shell had just started talking to him, and very rudely too, so he did not feel so great.
You test me every day and you thought I just had nothing to say? I'm an hermit crab, Sonny, and you might not appreciate a nice quiet hiding spot, but I do. Now, shh.
And what are we hiding from?
I'm hiding from the storm. Why do you think I stole the key?
The key? The key? Where is it?
Oh, fiddler crab sticks.
The fisherman took a deep breath. Oh, hermit crab, craftiest of all crustaceans, I must get to the top of the lighthouse. Those sailors out there may be looking for us. We must be brave.
Brave? Brave? If you can't find me my hat, I will be the captain, of course. And the captain needs his hat and a life preserver, just in case. Then, just this once, we will be brave.
Well, of course, courageous Captain Crab, said the fisherman. Your hat and a life preserver. Now, where would an everyday wooden puppet find a tiny life preserver and a hat fit for a crab?
I feel the storm coming. Oh, no. There. Now, put it around my... Good. I feel more buoyant already. Perhaps a smaller hat. One that can be worn at a jaunty angle. Now, I just need a hat. How else will people know I'm in charge? That's far too big. Good. Now, put it on me carefully. I have very delicate antennae. I should have moved shell years ago, I know. But, I never found the courage to live with this crazy weather outside. Now, here is the biggest storm, and you want me to leave? This is insane. I won't move until I'm less scared. This scruffy-looking puppet wants a salt. So, you found everything? Well, if a little wooden puppet like you can do this, then I will be brave. Now, just let me get out of this damn shell. Phew. Breezy. I feel so much lighter, and the world feels so much bigger. I don't think I can go back into my shell after this. All right, let's do this. I'll help you open the door, so you can save your fellow silly old sailor. And I, as captain, shall courageously remain here, on guard. Now, let's see. Where did I leave the key? I was holding the key while I was repairing my shell. Then I had a sudden itch, and then, blast it. Remember. I've lost the key, mon ami. Forget your poor sailor. You'll never be able to save him. right. Are you ready? Me too, I think. Farewell, shipmate. I won't forget what you did for me. Your captain salutes you.
He would need to find his way up the tower in the darkness, and already he could hear the storm rising outside.